Hello, Nick.
Good morning, Vanessa.
How are you?
Thanks for having me on. I'm very good, thanks.
It's an absolute pleasure. Now, you're with Andy Burnham, the health sec, on this.
Well, yes, I am, and no, I'm not. As far as a parent, I know the one thing you can't do is judge what other parents do.
Yeah.
I personally don't think this is something for the government to get involved in.
Right.
But insofar as what he's recommending, yes, I am with him. It's quite opposite timing, actually, this debate, because last week I launched a totally non-commercial video blog called MyDaddyCooks.com.
Oh.
And basically, MyDaddyCooks.com is a blog of me and my little 2-year-old Archie.
Yes.
And it's about how we cook, what we eat in our house.
Right.
Now, I wanted to broaden out the debate a little bit, just to sort of give you a positive story. We waited until Archie was, well, just around 6 months old. We were going to go down the puree and spoon-fed route. We didn't. We went down this route called baby-led weaning. But in reality, that's just a newfangled term. I suspect that if I sort of mentioned it to my great-grandma, she would just call it normal.
Or she might have called it sort of finger foods.
Well, exactly. But basically what we've done is from 6 months on, we didn't spoon-feed him. We put food in front of him.
Yeah.
And if you fast-forward that sort of 18 months, what we've now got is we've got a little boy who's got a lovely relationship with food. Yeah. We always sit down at the table together, so there's something quite old-fashioned about that. Me and my wife are not there sort of having to spoon-feed him or pass him food. So we've got a very positive family experience. He cooks in the kitchen with me, which you can see on the blog, and he's quite funny when he does it.
Yes.
And I believe, and I'm not judging other people's choices because I know the complexities involved in breastfeeding or not, and really I think all choices are valid. So although I agree with the substance of what the government is saying, I kind of wish they wouldn't say it. Yeah. But the upshot of the way we've done it is that he's got this lovely relationship around food and around eating. There's no control issues, there's no fighting. Yeah. He's not fussy. He comes out to restaurants and he'll taste everything. He eats prolifically, and one of the interesting things that's happened with the blog is people writing to me saying, are you really giving this to your son? Because he loves strong flavours. So we actually exposed him quite early on to a whole gamut of flavours. Yeah. And I think what the government are trying to say, the reason they're saying to wait is this notion of being able to sit up and hold your food, because I guess there's something in evolution that says that we're built a certain way, and if you're not old enough to sit up, then are you old enough to feed yourself? Now, that said, I'm not going to judge any mum who has got a hungry baby or who's concerned about their baby and who spoon feeds them.
Tell me something, because I'm fascinated by this. First of all, give us the name of the blog again so people can have a look at you cooking with Archie.
It's www.mydaddykooks.com.
And you're not doing this for money? Nobody has to pay or anything?
It's completely non-commercial. There's no adverts on the site. It's only been up for a week and there's already 4 videos up, and some of them are quite funny, because basically what I wanted to do was show real-life cooking in a tiny little house with a tiny little kitchen. Yeah. There's no makeup. There's no professional utensils. We're basically sort of cooking in our little 2 square metre.
Who films you? Your wife?
No, not at all. I've got 2 static cameras. Yeah. I'm not even a professional television person. I've taught myself video editing and filming, and I've got 2 little. I shan't mention the brand name, but 2 little, the sort of new portable mobile phone type shape cameras. Yeah. I've got 2 of them. One of them's on my draining board. It's actually balanced on 2 boxes, and the other one is near the hob, and it frequently falls over. Yeah. So I basically film as I run. Although in my risotto video last week, I forgot to press record halfway through on one of my cameras, so that came up as well. And it's very real life, because again, in the risotto one, Archie sort of down tools and stormed off in a huff halfway through, and that's in the video.
Let me ask you this. Well, this is what my real question is. When Archie first started eating solid food, so at 6 months, just as Andy Burnham would recommend, and you went for the, whatever it's called, weaning on demand. What do you call it?
It's baby-led weaning.
Baby-led weaning. God, we've got one of these jargons every blinking day. I'm never going to keep abreast of all this, am I? Baby-led weaning. So what did Archie eat? What were his first solid foods?
Well, interestingly enough, on YouTube is a video of me, my wife, and Archie giving Archie his first ever solids. Yeah. I haven't linked it to my blog because it's actually on YouTube under my name, and I've got to be a little bit careful of privacy because I've got a little kid involved.
God, you're very busy broadcasting and filming and all that, aren't you?
But I will post a link to it on the blog. And basically, for his very, very first time, we gave him broccoli florets. and we gave him sort of carrot sticks.
Yeah.
And for the first, I'd say 3 or 4 weeks, for him it was all about discovery and texture, and also we were very lucky because...
But how could he eat a broccoli florette with no teeth or it? Did he just give a good suck on it or what?
Well, because it's soft, and they can actually... I mean, he was eating meat from about sort of 8 months on, and teeth aren't entirely necessary for chewing. I mean, the gums are quite sharp.
Yeah.
We were, I have to say, we were very lucky because my wife Jo was able to breastfeed him.
Yeah.
And I'm well aware of all the complexities involved in that. So we were confident enough that in the first sort of 5.5, 6 months he was getting what he needed to
I've just got you think they've just come charging in through the miracles of technology with. So now I know what you look like because I'm looking at a picture of you. Can't see Archie, I can only see you. And then it says recent posts: oven baked chicken and vegetable risotto, cheese and vegetable muffins. The first video: sticky Indonesian salmon. And then it says the next post will be spinach, cheese and ham pancakes. Latest blogs: tagliatelle with pancetta, red pesto, mushroom and asparagus. God, I'm starving. I don't know about Archie.
And we're giving these to a kid who's just turned 2, and we were feeding him this kind. He was eating this kind of food pretty well from 7 or 8 months on. And I think the interesting thing about doing it this way is the relationship it creates between the kid and the food, and also with his parents. And it, out of all the things we've done as parents, and I think we mess up every single day, but if there's one thing that I wouldn't change, it's this.
It's this, yeah. Nick, it's been delightful talking to you. Thank you very much indeed. You can find Nick, it doesn't cost you any money, on www.mydaddykooks, and have a look at, if you want, if you're interested to see what Archie's eating and what you could be feeding your child. What about how his very first solid food was broccoli florets? All morning I've been joking about broccoli. I've been saying, and does your child look longingly as you eat a broccoli floret? I didn't think there was an actual child actually eating that as the very first solid food. Fantastic.